Of course, now everyone texts me. Leave me alone, I'm sciencing.
I'm sciencing.
Hello, and welcome to Pale Blue Pod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but want to be its friend.
I'm Connie. I'm your curious, stargazing friend.
Ooh, I like that. And I am Moiya. I'm an astrophysicist and a folklorist and a friend to both Connie and the universe. And I like introducing more people to the universe that I've gotten to know over the last, what is it now? 12 years that I've been studying space.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your space knowledge is a preteen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in middle school and is getting sassy.
Yeah. Definitely.
But because we are doing the episode about the upcoming equinox and then, the eventual solstice after that, I'm wondering, Bestie, what's your favorite part of spring?
The spring. I love spring. I was born
Just
in
all
spring.
Of it.
A little bit. I was born in spring. The weather is nicest. The perfect date is April 25th, which is after my birthday. So I kind of like
the perfect day.
I kind of like co-opt it, like it's like a little bit like sometimes it's the 24th and not the 25th, it just like varies a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just like you can finally go outside after the winter and breathe the fresh air and the flowers and the sun. It feels warmer. So I really love just like the warmth and like outside and growth and possibilities of spring. Because winter, I do hate winter. It is my least favorite season. So spring coming right after is kind of like a really nice balm.
Yeah, I agree. It is so refreshing. My favorite part is the bird chirping.
Yeah, I heard that when I pictured like, okay, going back outside, like maybe you still have a coat on, but it's open, Ooh,
it's light. It's not your heavy winter coat.
Maybe you have a sweater, but because you have to layer at this time of year still, because it is unpredictable. But you step outside, the air is crisp, but the sun is warm, and the birds have started chirping again, and like everybody else is starting to come outside, and you just kind of like feel like part of the world again. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I also love that there's a lot of rain because petrichor is one of my favorite words and one of my favorite smells.
Yes. That is true. It is a rainy season. It is not my favorite part about it, but obviously it has its necessary purposes that I'm just like, yes, what is it? April showers bring May flowers.
Yes, they do. What about meteor showers? Do you know about any of those happening in the springtime?
I don't. I am such a city kid that I didn't really get to see those. So now that I've moved to a more suburban area where I get to see stars, I'm excited to learn about what we're going to talk about, which is like the spring and summer sky. That's very Northern Hemisphere centric of us, but the March through September sky. The March through September sky.
Yes. So, by the end of this episode, you will hear about some meteor showers that you can plan to watch. You'll hear about the different full moons and some planetary events that you can look forward to. I also found some launch events that hopefully we can look forward to over the next 6 months. So if anything sounds interesting to you, be sure to write it down in your calendars, in your pocketbooks. I don't know how you keep track of your meetings and stuff, but let's just go through it. So the March equinox, which starts spring in the northern hemisphere and fall or autumn in the southern hemisphere, that's going to be on March 20th this year, not the 21st. Because it's not always on exactly the 21st. And it depends on when the planet's getting equal amounts of daytime and nighttime.
Gotcha.
Another way to think about it is that the Earth's axis of rotation is not pointing towards or away from the sun, but directly like parallel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happening on March 20th, specifically at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. All of the times that I'm going to use in this episode will be Eastern Time. I'm sorry to people in other parts of the world, but I hate time zone conversion, so I'm going to make you do all of it.
Yeah, sorry we're a little East Coast supremacist here.
I mean, it's good math exercise.
Yeah.
And then I guess we're gonna not have much exciting stuff going on for the rest of March, but April 1st is an exciting day. It's April Fool's Day. So we'll see a lot of prank astronomy papers. That'll be exciting. And then we'll get to do an episode about that after.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. But it's also a full moon. And this moon, the April full moon, is known as the pink moon, or the sprouting grass moon, or the growing moon, or the egg moon, or sometimes the fish moon for like coastal people. It's like when the fish are returning and when the grass is growing and the birds are laying their eggs, because we could hear the baby birds chirping.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard about the different moons, and I've seen, a little more recently, just like, okay, I've recognized, all the splashy ones. There's like the pink moon, the strawberry moon. Like there are like splashy ones, and then there are kind of ones that's like the hunter's moon, like the quieter, like fall ones. And so I don't know them all. At least,
I like how you've given these personalities. Like
a little bit.
You've made the full moon personality assessment.
Absolutely.
Wait, I think we now need to do
hold on a second. Yes, I'm with you. Okay.
Put a pin in that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
But it's so fascinating to also hear about the other cultures, how they've designated the moon. I assume these are from different cultural practices, or are these all kind of North American based?
Yeah, these are mostly indigenous North American names for the different full moons.
Mm-hmm.
April 1st is also the day that Artemis 2 is supposed to launch. Actually, the day that we're recording is the day after it was postponed. It was going to be sometime in March, and then it got postponed because engineers found an issue with the helium flow in the rocket during a test on February 19th. And I think we all are grateful that they found that and that they didn't just go through with the launch. So hopefully it will happen on April 1st. If they do launch, it will be the first crewed lunar flyby since the 70s. The first time we've sent humans around the moon.
Right.
So this is Artemis 2. This is the second mission in the Artemis program, just like Apollo had many different missions, a part of the larger Apollo program.
Right.
And Artemis 1 was on November 16th, 2022.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
It has.
It's been 3.5 years, almost 4 years since Artemis 1. And that was a successful but uncrewed test of this space launch system and the Orion shuttle, which is what they're going to use to transport the crew like to lunar orbit and then bring them back.
Nice. Okay.
Let's keep our fingers crossed for Artemis 2.
Let's do it, Artemis.
Putting the first women in orbit around the moon and the first black man in orbit around the moon.
Let's go.
Okay, that's April 1st. On April 3rd, Mercury's going to be at its greatest western elongation. I hate that we call it this.
I don't know what that means.
So these points of greatest elongation, western and eastern, those are the points in Mercury's orbit where, from our perspective, it seems to be furthest away from the sun. So it's more visible from our point of view because it's a little bit further away from the sun's light, but because it's so far away and it's on like the side from our view, it's like to the left or right of the sun, then a lot of the sun is shining on it and we can see that reflected light, just like we can see the different phases of the moon because the moon is reflecting the sunlight and we're seeing it from different perspectives.
Gotcha. Does that mean there's like a crescent view of Mercury at all? Or is it like you see the whole thing? Oh,
this is a crescent view of Mercury. It's like between a crescent and the first quarter view of Mercury, or the third quarter and crescent view.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. The western elongation, confusingly, when Mercury is on the right side of the sun from our perspective. And I think that's because we are seeing Mercury's most western side when that's happening. So it's like,
yeah. Space frame of reference and then coming to Earth. Oh, no.
Precisely. But that is going to be one of the best times to see Mercury, and it will be low in the eastern sky right before sunrise. So right before the sun comes up, Mercury will set.
Gotcha. See, a lot of astronomy is biased towards early people.
Is it?
No.
Was that sarcasm?
It wasn't, but you're right.
I was like, that's not something I've heard before.
No, you're so right. It was just an errant thought because I don't want to get up early to see that. But there are things that happen late.
Most things. And if you stay up late enough, if you're a true night owl, then you'll still be up.
You're right. Yeah.
5 days later, on April 8th, we have a potential launch for the Solar Wind Magnetosphere Ionosphere Link Explorer.
Okay, now you wrote an acronym down, and it's a lie.
I mean, they've only excluded one word, which is actually pretty good for an astronomy acronym.
Oh.
Granted.
Okay.
So they're just smushing solar wind into one term.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it is the solar wind, but I'm sure the wind feels left out.
A little bit, But I guess it's, Wicked Witch, Madam Morrible, WWMM.
Just flip it around. Actually,
I could see it like as a design, like they sneak the W in there as part of the M.
Ooh, I was seeing it as a physical logo or maybe a digital logo where the MW is like a spinny thing.
Love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Mm-hmm. They should hire us to make their logo, to concept it. Mm-hmm.
So many people should hire us for creative consulting.
Mm-hmm.
This is a joint mission between the European Space Agency and the Chinese Academy of Sciences to study the solar wind, which is this like wall of charged particles that is flowing off of the sun and interacting with our magnetic field. And there's lots of space weather between Earth and the sun. So on April 8th, that's the earliest day that this could launch into space to start doing its observations.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. Maybe we can cover it after it launches or something, or after it collects some data.
Yes, that would be great to be able to follow up on what we talked about.
Yes. On April 22nd, we're going to see the peak of the Lyrids meteor shower.
Okay.
Meteor showers last a long time. This is going from mid-April to the end of April. And it's just going to peak. Like we see the most meteors from this shower happening on the 22nd going into the 23rd. And it's a kind of light meteor shower. We would expect 10 to 15 meteors per hour on average. But this is a cool one because it's kind of unpredictable. Like every once in a while, it gets these bursts where you can have like 100 meteors per hour streaking across the sky. You never know if this is going to be one of the burst years. Ooh. And it's going to be a good year to observe it. The moon, the quarter moon, is going to set after midnight. So you have from midnight to sunrise to observe in a pretty dark sky. And it comes from the constellation Lyra, which is a northern constellation, but it goes everywhere. Like that's the nice thing about meteor showers. They start from like a particular place because they come from their debris fields. It's the Earth passing like through a debris field, but we like come from a particular direction at a particular time of year. So it looks like it comes from a particular place. But because we're passing through the field, you can see the meteor shower pretty much from everywhere as long as it's nighttime.
So that's all meteor showers? Like we're always passing through something else? Because it is like a reverse term because it's like, yes, to us it's like showering down, but like that's not what's actually happening?
Correct.
Oh.
They are debris from asteroids and comets.
I never really realized that before. I didn't think about it being us going through them as opposed to like it falling, you know, like through, like moving through space. But now that I'm like saying it and actually trying to talk it out, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why? How would it necessarily do that?
Well, because that's what asteroids and comets do.
Yeah.
And I think we associate meteors with
Yes.
them. And it's true. They are the junk left over from asteroids and comets. And the junk is also orbiting around the sun, because it still carries the momentum of the comet that it's the debris of. So everything is moving, but the Earth is moving more quickly through this debris field. And that's why it passes through our atmosphere and we see the bright lights and the shooting stars.
Nice. Okay.
But if you're thinking of them more as the asteroids and comets that they come from, like Halley's Comet, that comes to us.
Yes.
Almost.
Okay.
Kind of. Really, we are both orbiting the sun, and it just so happens that at a regular rate, our periods intersect. Our orbits, like, kind of cross each other or come close to each other.
Things I knew but forgot. Yeah. Okay, great. So can you kind of go outside anywhere, or is it like a particular, direction in the sky for the Lyrid shower?
Yeah, go outside anywhere as long as it's dark, and especially after midnight on the 22nd. And I think look to the east, probably. Just look up.
Look up.
Yeah, they streak across the sky.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Yeah.
Okay, great. I might try to look because I live in an area where I could try to look. So I'm very excited to report back.
Excellent. And then on May 1st, we have another full moon. This is called the flower moon or the corn planting moon or the milk moon, because the dairy animals are producing milk more, like it's warming up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think corn planting is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Also, at some point this month, and we're not sure when, the Psyche spacecraft is going to make a gravity cyst around Mars. It's on its way to an asteroid in the asteroid belt called Psyche, which is why it's called the Psyche spacecraft. And I don't like that.
No.
I feel like that goes against a lot of IAU naming conventions. Yeah, and this isn't an IAU officially named thing. This is a NASA mission, and they didn't ask me.
They should have.
Yeah. This is the first mission to a metal-rich asteroid. We've visited other asteroids that are more like carbon-rich, but this is metal-rich in the classic sense, in the non-astronomer sense. Like there be shiny things there that people might potentially want to mine one day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And it launched in October of 2023. It's supposed to reach the asteroid sometime in 2029, but this gravity assist around Mars is going to give it the extra oomph it needs to get there by 2029. Otherwise, it would take longer, because it's really far. Like it's almost at Jupiter. It has an eccentric orbit, but it averages about 2.9 times the distance from Earth to the Sun. So beyond Mars, almost to Jupiter. And it does that in 5 years. So they have to travel far. The asteroid itself, in case you're curious, Psyche, is 120 miles in diameter. It's bigger than 99% of all the other bodies in the asteroid belt. Oh. And it rotates every 4.2 hours.
It's just rolling, huh?
Yes.
Little
just
tumbleweed
rolling around the sun. Little tumbleweed. And there's no danger of it coming close to Earth. But like I said, we might want to go send something to it for mining purposes. Its name does have a mythological origin. I figured you might want to know about it.
I do.
Or do you know the story of Psyche?
Well, yeah, I know that she falls in love with Eros, but like maybe not really within her will. Like there's god shenanigans involved there. Aphrodite's involved, and there's like a lot of tension between Eros and Aphrodite, because I think she's forcing Psyche to do something, but I always forget what.
Yes. you got all the different parts. So she is eventually a goddess of like the soul or life. That's what Psyche translates to. And she started off as a mortal princess who was so beautiful that Aphrodite got jealous, and she sent Eros, her son, to make Psyche fall in love with the like first ugly person they came across, and instead Eros fell in love with her because she was so beautiful. So he whisks her away to a palace and is like, you can have this beautiful life, but you cannot gaze upon my face because you can't know who I am.
Sir, like, how was that supposed to happen?
But like this is it's just so fairy tale. I love it. And so she does that for a while, but they visit each other every night and just, don't turn the lights on. So she gets pregnant, I think, at some point, maybe.
As they do.
I think she tells her sisters about this deal, and they're like, what do you mean you're going to have this guy's baby? Or what do you mean you're going to marry this guy and live in his palace and you don't even know what he looks like? You have to figure this out. Like, you need to know what your baby's going to look like. And so then they convince her to look at his face while he's sleeping, and that breaks this covenant between them. So he flips out. He abandons her. In my head, it's like this palace is magically constructed, so at the snap of his fingers, the palace disappears, all the staff disappear, he's gone, and she's just like there in this like empty wilderness.
Right.
And so then she searches for him and looks to Aphrodite's palace to find him. She goes and knocks on the door, and Aphrodite hates her and is like, sure, I'll help you, but you have to do all of these tasks first. And the tasks, of course, are impossible. She has to do things like sort a giant pile of rice or grain, some sort of grain that's like way too much for her to sort through in the time she's given, but she gets help from ants, which is cute.
Oh, because she's a Disney princess.
Essentially, yes. That's what I'm saying. Then she has to gather wool from a bunch of rowdy rams, but she gets the advice to wait until after the sun goes down because they'll be less angry when it's hot. Then she has to gather water from the river Styx, and she's helped by an eagle because she can't like climb over the rocky crags to get to the river Styx. Then she has to get a box of beauty, a box filled with beauty from Persephone, who just gives it to her freely once she figures out that Psyche is like trapped in this situation. And so she does all of these tasks, and while she's gone, Eros returns and sees that his mom is torturing the woman that he loves, even though he abandoned her first. And is like, and is like, hey mom, what the fuck? Goes to Zeus and begs him to turn Psyche into an immortal and make some sort of rule that Aphrodite can't hurt her. And Zeus grants that wish, and then she becomes a goddess. And together, Psyche and Eros have a daughter named Voluptus, who is the personification of pleasure.
Oh, well then. Yeah, it's basically like love will drive you crazy.
Yes, it's the Greek story of the things you do for love.
Yeah.
Wild. But I thought you might enjoy hearing the details again.
I did.
Because I know you've heard them.
I did. Because I forgot a lot of details. The middle parts, I was like, oh, she does turn immortal at some point, but I don't remember how. Like what she did before that.
That's at some point during May. That Psyche, the spacecraft, is going to do the gravity assist around Mars. On May 6th, we have another meteor shower. It's the peak of the Eta Aquarids. These last for most of May, and it's unevenly split between the northern and southern hemisphere. So in the north, you would expect to see about 30 meteors per hour, but in the south, about 60 meteors per hour. So congrats to you down there. It's coming from the Aquarius constellation, and it is debris from Halley's Comet. So we are actually passing through like the little pieces of rock that it left on its path, on its orbit.
Nice.
On May 31st, we have another full moon. Now, you may recall, we had a full moon on May 1st as well. So this is the second full moon in a month. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a blue moon. It is the actual definition of a blue moon, which, like, before I knew that, I was like, oh, metaphorical. Like, you're sad. Elvis I think that's him.
Elvis.
But
Bestie.
no, it's technically a second moon in the same month.
Bestie, that's not the true definition of a blue moon. It is kind of like a newer accepted definition of the full moon. Apparently that got popularized after the 40s, but initially there was a more seasonal and less monthly definition for a blue moon, where it is the third full moon in a season, an astronomical season that has 4 full moons. So an astronomical season is typically 3 months, but if you have 4 full moons in there, the third one is the blue moon.
Why is the third one the blue moon and not the last one?
Girl, I wish I knew. I do, but I don't. That kind of blue moon is rarer than the monthly blue moon. So that's like
interesting.
Every 2 to 3 years, I think you expect a seasonal blue moon, but you can have a monthly blue moon like every year, because there are 13 full moons in a year.
Gotcha.
In 12 months. So
yeah.
So if you can choose how optimistic you want to be when you're saying once in a blue moon.
Nice. You have some levels there. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Love that.
Hey friends, it's me. Connie is making a list of phrases that we should be using instead of once in a blue moon. I'll have some for you at the end of this little break. But for now, I want to share some messages. The first, of course, being a big thank you to all of the patrons who support Pale Blue Pod financially every month. We are an independent show, so it would be really hard to make this show without your support. So thank you so much. And we want to give a special shout out to our Sun-like stars, Scott Reynolds, Tom T., Nicole Bartlett, Ashley Shambo, and Bruce Sedloff. Thank you, my golden friends. We appreciate you so much. If you want to support this indie podcast on Patreon, you can hear your name on the show, make it onto the Patreon star chart, and get research notes for almost every episode for $5 a month at patreon.com/palebluepod. Of course, that link is in the episode description. And if a monthly donation isn't something you're into, you can also become a supernova in the Pale Blue Pod sky by making a one-time donation at the PayPal link in the episode description. Of course, if you can't support the show financially right now, we totally understand. This is not a normal time. There are other ways that you can help the show if you would still like to, like rating and reviewing us on whatever podcast app you use. And of course, sharing the episode goes so far in helping us grow our audience. If you take the link to this episode and send it to someone who's always wanted to get more into stargazing but doesn't know what to do and when to do it, send this to them, and they will appreciate it, and so will we. Thank you in advance. My next message is a podcast recommendation. It's a show that I listen to personally almost every week. It's called Spirits, and it's a history and comedy podcast focused on everything folklore, mythology, and the occult. So it really gets at the other side of my brain, the folklore and mythology side. And it's all told through the lens of feminism, queerness, and modern adulthood. Every week, mythology buff Julia and her childhood best friend Amanda get together to learn about a different story from mythology and folklore over drinks. That's everything from the mythological origins of major franchises like Lord of the Rings and Pokemon to modern urban legends, to advice from creatures and figures from folklore, which I helped them with for a few episodes. You can start with any of their almost 500 episodes. They've been doing this for 10 years, so there's a lot to enjoy, whether you're here for analyses of mental health and mythology or creepy modern ghost stories. They just put out an episode about the Lady in the Lake from Arthurian legend because they're doing this whole series now breaking down the history and the folklore of Arthurian legend. So check that out. You can dive in at spiritspodcast.com or search for Spirits wherever you download your podcasts. Okay, Connie's back. She has many ideas, but she's narrowed it down to 2 that she wants to share with you. And one is once in a Halley's Comet. So that's coming in at like once every 76 years. That's almost once in a lifetime. Maybe you get 2 if you're lucky. So I think that'd be a good one. The other one at the top of her list is once in a solar peak. Now this has to do with our sun's magnetic activity cycle. It happens over the course of 11 years. This is like like a little bit less than once in a decade. If you have something that happens that often, then you'd say, oh, once in a solar peak. So let me know. Do you prefer once in a Halley's Comet or once in a solar peak? But let's keep going with this conversation about what to expect in the night sky. That takes us into June, and on the 8th, we have a conjunction of Venus and Jupiter, the two brightest planets in the sky. They'll appear one pinky finger width apart if you hold your arm out.
Huh. Really? That's so specific.
It's... Well, astronomers and wayfarers going back have often used your hand as an easy way to say, like, different angular distances. I think your whole fist held at arm's length is about 5 degrees on the sky. I think your thumb is like 1. So your pinky might be like half.
Ah, okay.
I might be wrong with those numbers, though.
Where I am now, I can see Jupiter really well lately when I walk my dog.
Yes, Jupiter has been out.
I use the Skyview app to see, and then I've seen Venus before, so this will be fun. I can see them together.
Yay. Yes, so they will be about a pinky width apart. Oh, and the reason that it kind of works for everyone is because unless you are, very out of proportion, yes, if you have bigger thumbs, it'll be wider, but your arm will also be longer, so it'll be roughly the same angle, the same angular width.
The perspective?
Yes.
Because I was wondering about that.
Yeah, how is this one size fits all?
Yeah, like my thumb and like a larger guy's thumb are going to be different, but the distance.
Yes, and you'll be able to see them in the western sky after sunset on the 8th. So check them out there. And they will not twinkle. That's how you know. They'll be very bright and they will not twinkle.
They do not twinkle.
Close enough to us that their beams of light are not getting aberrated by our atmosphere like the stars.
Right, yes. And then make sure there's no red dot, because that's a plane.
Yes.
Or maybe a satellite.
Yeah, or like the ISS maybe?
Yeah, I've gotten caught up with that. I'm like staring at something and it's not moving, but it's not blinking, twinkling, but it's something is that red? Like I have to stare.
Yeah.
Is that... Okay, yeah, that is a plane. Okay.
I like to think of it as a workout for your eyes.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to everybody with astigmatism doing that practice, because that's me. Yes,
astigmatism gang.
Yeah. It makes stargazing so interesting. Everything's twinkling. Who's
exactly. You have to put your hands on your knees, really lean down and focus. Yeah. Or like that meme of that lady in the driveway.
In the pink, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, a week later, on June 15th, remember we talked about Mercury's western elongation before? Now Mercury's gone around, and it's at its greatest eastern elongation on the 15th. So it'll be visible in the western sky just after sunset. A good time to take pictures of Mercury. You can see it with your eyes if you get the timing right.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it's usually too close to the sun to really see that well. And that's why we make a big deal of these elongations.
Gotcha.
And then on the 21st of June, we have the solstice, which takes the northern hemisphere into summer and the southern hemisphere into winter. And that's happening at precisely 4:25 a.m. Eastern time.
Cool.
So, yay, summer.
Do you have a favorite thing about summer?
It's that I get darker. It's my summer color, getting my melanin back.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that.
It's 5-year-olds not telling me I'm white.
So real. So real. I'm trying to think of what mine is. It might just be eating a Mr. Softy, having a nice Mr. Softy on a nicely hot day, not too hot, but hot enough where you need ice cream. Yes. That's a moment. That's great.
Yes.
But otherwise, summer's not my favorite season. So
it's hot and sticky.
It's very hot and sticky.
And I have a feeling this summer's going to be real hot.
Yeah.
And real stormy. So
yeah.
Let's all enjoy the nice days as they come.
And the clear skies.
Yeah. Yeah. On June 29th, we have a full moon. It's called the strawberry moon or the rose or the honeymoon because it's the sweetest time of the year.
Ooh.
Yeah, all the sugar's
June's
coming
moons.
out. Yeah.
I love June's moons. June's moons. We simply must do the personality assessment. I'm working on
Yeah.
it. I wrote it down.
Fantastic. This is also the day that Mercury goes into retrograde for people who pay attention
Track
to those
that.
things. And it will be...
So we're not in retrograde currently?
Actually, as we record currently, we are in retrograde.
Okay,
By the
that
time
makes
this
sense.
episode comes out, we either will be like just about to end retrograde or we just ended retrograde.
Gotcha.
Yes. And then it comes back into retrograde on the 29th and will be in retrograde until July 23rd.
Look out for that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. And it's not, I do need to say, it is purely like an optical illusion. It's a consequence of Earth and Mercury moving at different speeds and being at different phases of our orbits at different times.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what Mercury retrograde
yes.
is.
Yes, it does not actually go backwards.
No, it does not. I did know that. If things go crazy at that time, that's not. I don't know. You know, that's beyond our purview.
Yes. Yes. We're not here to comment on that. On June 30th, we have the official United Nations sanctioned Asteroid Day. This is a day of public awareness about asteroids and what they can do and how we are monitoring them and how we could potentially fight them back. We now know that we can thanks to the DART mission, which I think we still should make an episode about. I'll keep that in mind. Especially after the 1908 Tunguska event.
Oh, what happened? And is that a place?
It is a place. It's a place in Russia. And in 1908, a 30-meter across asteroid exploded above Tunguska. And the energy from the explosion knocked down 80 million trees over 830 square miles.
What?
Your reaction is just priceless. We're gonna gif that. Yes.
Because I've never heard about this. Is it a thing that people just don't talk about? That's a lot of trees.
We talk about it on Asteroid Day.
That's why we need Asteroid Day. And now I know about Asteroid Day. We got to spread the word about Asteroid Day so people can know about this event. We're 80 million trees.
Yes.
Is that?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But yes.
But it's like, that seems like that's
a lot of trees. Yes, it's
that's a lot of trees.
over
That's crazy.
800 square miles of forest. If that had been a populated area, it would have been truly disastrous.
Wow.
I think they compared
Is this like
it...
a northern Russia, like where it's like sort of more colder? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I was just curious. But Russia's big. Russia's big.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Russia has so many of these big asteroid stories. Because an asteroid is probably going to fall in the ocean or on Russia.
You know what? That's true. Wow.
Especially like before the 60s, 70s. When it was like it was like all of it, the USSR.
Right. Yeah. That was a lot.
I did the history good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Incredible. We're rolling here today.
Love you. Yeah, so we will probably do something for Asteroid Day. There are events all over the world. I think it's like asteroidday.org or something if you want to check out events and look for one near you. But the link is absolutely included in the research notes for patrons. So check that out.
Nice.
And then that takes us into July. On July 6th, Earth is at aphelion. This is the furthest we get from the sun. So I think we're at like 95 or 96 million miles.
Is the other direction apogee?
No.
Like when it's closest?
No, apogee is a real word, but that is for the moon.
Okay.
So when the moon is farthest away from us, that is apogee. The opposite of far away, apo, is peri, close to. So
perigee.
So perigee and perihelion.
That was my other guess. Oh, okay. Is perigee? Perigee's for the moon,
Yes.
and perihelion is for the sun. Because helion.
Helios.
Yes.
And then you can also have astron, the furthest that a planet gets from its star. And then, I guess periastron.
Periastron. Huh. Nice.
We love our roots and our suffixes and stuff.
Oh, we do. Yes.
And a new vocab word. Yay.
Indeed.
Okay. And then I guess July is not that much of an exciting month because we have on the 28th of July, the Delta Aquariid meteor shower has its peak. But the whole meteor shower is going to last from mid-July to mid-August. And it is better in the southern hemisphere. They'll get about 15 to 20 meteors per hour. So up here, it's pretty faint because it's, they just have a better view.
Nice. It'll be too hot here.
Exactly.
Be inside.
We'll be inside. And then the next night from inside, we can watch the full moon, which is called a buck moon or a thunder moon or the hay moon. The buck moon, because that's when the bucks get their antlers back.
Right. The thunderstorms of summer.
And the thunderstorms of summer, and like the hay growing and like the hay fever and allergies and stuff like at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
And that takes us into August. On August 2nd, Mercury zipping around the sun. It's back at western elongation. So if you've missed it, you can see it again in the morning sky right before sunrise. And
does it happen every year?
It happens every couple months.
Okay.
Every few months, because it takes Mercury 88 days to go around the sun. And
right.
So it doesn't happen exactly every 88 days because it's like the common denominator with our orbit because we have to see it from the certain perspective, but it's like every few months.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then on the 12th, this is the exciting meteor shower. This is one of the biggest of the year, the Perseids. It's about 60 meteors per hour, and it's right after it's right around a new moon, so the sky will be very dark. So it's a great time to see the Perseids. And it's exactly a new moon because there's a total solar eclipse happening in Spain and Majorca. Which means there's a slight chance, depending on the production schedule, that there could be a total solar eclipse over Love Island.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, neither of us are in Majorca.
I want them to incorporate it into a challenge.
Right. Yeah. And especially because it's eclipse, there's just extra energy that they could put into it, Just the islanders are hot.
But they might be over by then. They're usually over by August or mid-August, and especially if there's an eclipse going over, Majorca is going to be so expensive, tourist-wise. They might not even film there. They might do South Africa. Sometimes they do that, or Fiji.
Get your Love Island season location breakdowns here.
Yes, because if you could go on one trip to see your favorite islanders and a solar eclipse, do it. Not that we should care about who these people are at all, but it's fun. It's fun. Go for the science. Go for the eclipse.
Exactly.
Totality will last, I think, 2 minutes and change. So not the longest solar eclipse, but pretty nice.
If you're in Spain, that's going to be a real nice solar eclipse, I think.
Oh, they will have, I think, beautiful weather there. Probably. Parts of the ocean will see it. I think maybe parts of Alaska. If that's Greenland. There's a place north.
For our listeners, I need you to know that Moiya has been mimicking the line of the eclipse. So you see those pictures of the Earth, and they have the shadow of where the eclipse will go. Moiya was miming in the air, using, I guess, just like her memory, her mind. Like, are you seeing it in your mind? And
I am.
And you're able to just like accurately remember which way the line goes to know which states and areas. How do you do that?
Well, I saw a map while I was doing my research for this.
Of course.
And I also roughly remember where Spain and Majorca are. And for those to be the only major areas listed, then the path of totality has to go at a specific angle. Because I remember it also reaches through someplace in the far north. Like, it cuts through the Atlantic Ocean at a steep angle. So
Wow. Huh. That was cool to see, because I was like, wow, she's doing the thing. I've seen the maps where they do and you were doing it just with your hand, just like, just figuring it out. That's amazing. I just thought people should know. They can't see it.
Thanks, bestie.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
But August is an important deadline. Just start thinking, because on August 2nd of 2027... you have the major total solar eclipse going over Egypt. I almost don't even want to tell y'all about it, because I don't want it to be flooded. However,
it's going to get hyped and...
Yeah. But I need to tell you all about it, just in case any of you are organizing events. If any of you happen to be organizing an event in Egypt outside one of the pyramids, and you need an astrophysicist, folklorist, and her social media manager to come along to do, I need to be there. And any event about that eclipse needs to have me there in Egypt.
Yeah, definitely. We're ready. You know, we got equipment. We got the brains.
We're speaking it into existence.
We're speaking it into existence. If you can't do it, but you might know somebody, just like forward them our request, you know.
Please.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell them this, but like, let's be honest, between us co-friends of the universe, like, I will do this for way below my normal speaking fee. Just get me to Egypt.
That's an exclusive PvP discount.
Yes. They have a discount code.
Use code PvP, Egypt 27.
I'm 100% serious.
Check out.
Okay, going along in August, we have on the 15th, Venus at its greatest eastern elongation. Ooh. So this is a great time to see Venus far away from the sun from our perspective, and it's going to be visible in the west around the horizon after the sun sets. And it's going to look real bright because it's reflecting like the most amount of sunlight that it can.
A super Venus.
A super Venus. Yes. Yeah. So check it out. And then we have, for those of you like me who are upset you missed the total lunar eclipse a couple weeks ago, by the time this episode comes out, a couple weeks ago, don't fear. There is not a total one, but a 96% partial lunar eclipse that's going to be visible across the Americas and Africa and most of Europe. I'm sorry, Asia and Australia. But we will see most of the moon covered by the Earth's shadow from 10:30 to about 3 a.m.-ish Eastern time.
Those are my hours.
So we'll have a good view of it.
Yeah, those are my hours.
And because it's a lunar eclipse and it's almost total, and if you know anything about astronomy, if you've been paying attention, then you can surmise, you can deduce that it is near a full moon. So the full moon in August happens the next day on the 28th. This is called the sturgeon moon, or the green corn moon, or the grain moon.
Not the blue corn moon.
No.
Sadly.
That's an important distinction. Not to be confused with.
Yeah.
And then I guess September isn't really that interesting because there's nothing until the end of the summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the south. The equinox, the September equinox, is on the 22nd at 8:05 p.m.
And that'll be then. Remember to participate in your local elections around that time.
Yes.
You know, make sure you're getting ready.
Yes.
a lot can happen between now and September. So we look to the night sky to encourage us and to remember our place in the universe and to look up and to look away from maybe the small rectangular device in your hand. You can indeed listen to this podcast while not on your phone. So, go outside, look at the sky, and look at your fellow humans.
Whew, beautiful. While Connie was talking, I had a mini freak out, and then she talked me down. I think you could see that you were freaking me out, and then you talked me down, and also hopefully calmed some listeners as well. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So we talked about all the space events to happen for the next 6 months, but do you have any personal events that you have coming up that you want to share?
Well, I love spring, so my birthday is April 24th. So that is a ConStar event in the sky, in my personal sky. But that's about it. I've got some mini travel planned, but not doing too much so far. Kind of sticking around the home parts, so I'm excited to look up and try to get my stargazing on now that I live in a place where I can do that.
Yes.
If anyone has any telescope recommendations, just like beginner, let me know.
You've never asked me for telescope recommendations.
You've said you don't really use telescopes,
but I know people.
That's true. That is true.
That's okay. It's okay. It's just like the time I asked you to name astronomers and you didn't name me. It's fine. It's okay. Anyway.
It's like you're the default, and it's like you're my friend, and I'm always asking you questions about stuff. I was texting you the other night, and I know I was confusing you, so that's why I'm sometimes I'm like, don't pester Moiya with your silly, I want to look at telescopes. And she's like, I don't really do that kind of observations, and I'm like, okay,
but I would help.
Of course you would.
I would help.
That is so true. I will ask you then.
Okay, thanks. I have a personal anniversary coming up in April.
Yes, you do.
This is 5 years of me being Dr. Moiya on April 6th.
That's amazing. That's crazy.
I know.
But that's amazing. What? Well, I guess we'll talk about it then.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And then the big thing is August 18th is Muse's book day. It's Mothers of Invention Day.
Yay!
My sophomore book is coming out, and I am nervous and excited in equal amounts.
Yes, and we're going to work on flipping that. So that you're excited and nervous.
Yeah. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yes,
apparently
actually.
Mothers of Invention is already available for pre-order. So if you are interested in hearing about humanity's relationship to creativity and how 8 different inventions were created, from the telescope to jazz music to the internet, and you also want to meet some cool Greek goddesses that I imagined mostly from a few pieces of text, check out that link in the episode description to pre-order Mothers of Invention.
Yes, please do.
All right. Well, I hope you all have a lot of items in your calendar now, some observing plans, some stargazing plans, but no matter what stars are twinkling in your eyes today, you're space. You are.
Have a great one. Pale Blue Pod is hosted by Dr. Moiya McTier and Connie Gibbs. Moiya created the show with the funny and talented Karine Caputo, with help from the Multitude Productions team.
Our theme music is by Evan Johnston, our cover art by Shay McMullen, and our audio editing is handled by the superlative Misha Stanton.
Stay in touch with us and the universe by following @PaleBluePod on Instagram, or check out our website, palebluepod.com.
I, Moiya, am Go Astro Mo on all socials.
And I'm @ConStar24 on Instagram.
If you want to support our show, join our community at patreon.com/palebluepod or send this episode to your family and friends group chats.
We're a member of Multitude, an independent podcast collective and production studio. If you like Pale Blue Pod, you will love the other shows that live on our website at multitude.productions.
Thanks for listening to Pale Blue Pod. We'll be back next week.